Chinese turned out to greet the torch as excitement mounts ahead of Friday's spectacular opening of the Games. The torch has been dogged by protests since it left Athens, and now 4 foreigners are under arrest after staging a pro-Tibet demonstration in the Chinese capital. SBS senior correspondent Brian Thompson reports from Beijing.
With just 2 days to go before the start of the Olympics, security here in Beijing is becoming ever more visible. But as the police discovered this morning, they can't be everywhere at once. It's exactly what the organisers here had hoped to avoid, a pro-Tibet protest in the heart of the Olympic zone. American and British activists raising a banner which police took more than an hour to bring down. A Canadian reporter on the scene at the time managed to speak to one of the protesters by phone.
Well, I'm here today because I'm a long-term Tibet activist, the Tibet supporter, and I feel like now is a really critical time for Tibet. The Beijing Games have been used by the Chinese government as a propaganda tool to whitewash their human rights record in Tibet.
Firefighters were called to the scene to bring him down. The activists were then led away by police. This is what the organisers had hoped the media would be focused on today, the arrival in Beijing of the Olympic torch. Across the city, Olympic fever is building. This is China's moment of glory, and everyone is sharing in the excitement. As the momentum builds, attention is turning to the athletes and the venues. One in particular is coming in for high praise. The National Aquatic Centre, known as the Water Cube, was designed by Sydney-based architect firm PTW. A stark blue building in which Australia hopes to claim gold, and one that is very green.
We pride our building on its environmental rating. It's one of the highest environmental ratings that a building has achieved here in China, and it really does have low energy consumption, something that we're very proud of.
As much as these Olympics are about sport, they are also about business, and the Australian government is using them as an opportunity to help companies tap into the huge Chinese market.
We've got 3,000 Australian companies visiting Beijing during the Olympics, and we're one Western nation with a Chinese-speaking head of government, so we're in a great position and we can really take advantage of this very unique historical opportunity.
One company which has already taken advantage of the opportunities provided by the Chinese market is BHP Billiton. It is one of the sponsors of the Games and has provided the raw materials for the medals.
China is a critically important market for us. In fact, BHP Billiton has been doing business in China for a very long time. Our first recorded sale into this country was 1891. When we sold some lead to the Chinese. But over that period of time, it's grown considerably in importance, and in fact today accounts for over 20% of our revenues.
But the traffic is not all one way. 31-year-old Zhao Hailang won a gold medal for synchronised diving at the Sydney Olympics. He is now an ambassador for Austrade and runs a company importing Australian wine into China.
One world, one dream. Which world? Which dream? Not my world, not my dream. Welcome to Beijing Olympics Games.